listen, 6 years ago, a terrible thing happened. Black guy walking through Chicago, got beat up by some MAGA people. And then we found out that he maybe beat up himself. But it was a traumatizing thing for him to go through nonetheless. So I just would like to show you this clip of Jussie Smollett on ABC News after the horrific incident that has never been happened before, a hate crime against thyself. Take a listen.
Who says empire, this MAGA country, ties a noose around your neck and pours bleach on you? And this is just a friendly fight? I will never be the man that this did not happen to. I am forever changed. I have fought for love. I'm an advocate. I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
If the attackers are never found, how will you be able to heal?
I don't know. Let's just hope that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not go there yet. Let's
I'm not laughing, you're laughing. And for those of you that are laughing in the chat, I'm completely disgusted with you. This was a real attack. It's just one that we've never considered. And I felt when he said that, like, we got to find these attackers, like, I had to find them, and I did find them. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut. We filmed this interview with them yesterday so we could roll it today. So I'm going to roll it for you guys, and then I will see you for live questions. And I promise you, this interview is going to make your day. Take a listen. Abel and Ola, I have been meaning to interview you guys for quite some time. I mean, really fantastic work. I guess my first question really is, how much would it be if I wanted to book you to conduct a hate crime against myself at this moment? I'm assuming prices have gone up.
Yes, definitely. It's not no longer 3,500. It's we've 100x'd that. So yes.
Okay, so you might be out of my budget. There's a lot of questions here that I think many people have, but I guess my first question is, my second question rather, were there no white people available for this particular part? Because I think if you're going to try to do, this is MAGA country, I got, assaulted by some white people, maybe trying to cast some white guys in this part might have been good.
Yes, I agree. Let me explain something. I blame for this whole thing President Trump, for this whole experience that went down. And the reason I blame him is because in 2016, he did not address the DEI issue. So we were DEI hires. That's why Jussie used us. So I blame President Trump.
So can you tell me, how did Jussie breach? I need to know how the conversation started, because it's such an awkward conversation to have. Like, can you assault me and pretend to be white guys? So I just need to hear you guys tell me how it went down.
Yeah, so he initially texted me saying that he wants to speak with me on the low, that I should come meet him at CineSpace where they film Empire. So I went to go meet him, and he was driving me home, and he was smoking weed, of course, he always does. And he just randomly said, "I want you to beat me up." Yeah, crazy, right? But before he said that, he did say Kim K, she had just gotten robbed in Paris, her family, and he was telling me how that was staged. That's what he said. He said it was completely fabricated, that it was a publicity stunt. So he was trying to trying to convince me to do this. And then he was like, "Yeah, I want you to beat me up." So I was at first confused. I didn't say anything. And I waited for him to say something else because I was dumbfounded. And then he said, "Yeah, I need you to beat me up. Fake beat me up." So then he proceeded to ask me if my brother would do it. And I said, sure, he would. So that's what happened.
So you're just in a car and he's like, remember that Kim K thing? That entire thing was fake, which by the way, I have not heard that. So that's very interesting that he would say that, and maybe he would know, who knows? But so he's just saying to you, like, I need you to do this. You're saying your brother's instantly in. When did he kind of spell out for you the plan of how he wanted to go down? And also, did he tell you why he wanted you to do it? Is he just like a PR stunt?
Yeah, so initially so we went to go meet my brother that day. We When he drove me home, we saw my brother, he got in the car, and then he laid out the details, exactly what he wanted us to do. And then we did a drive-through, not a drive-through, a run-through the next
through,
day.
yeah. Like rehearsal,
A
dress
rehearsal.
rehearsal.
A dress rehearsal. Yeah, where we went to the location. He picked out everything, all the details. He picked it out, and he said a camera would be right there. That we're gonna do it right here by the stairs, and the camera will capture everything. And he did mention that it was for publicity. Well, he didn't say it. It was implied that it was supposed to be for publicity because he said he was going to disperse it to the media companies. And he never said, what he didn't say was, he never said it was going to be for reported to the police, which then made it criminal.
Okay, so whose idea was the bleach? Because that's a very compelling part of the story. I mean, I've been Black a long time, I would say. And when I think of crimes against Black people, just from my experience, no one like throws bleach because it's not going to dye your skin white per se. So whose genius idea was the bleach?
So actually, it was originally supposed to be gasoline. But I did not feel comfortable throwing gasoline on somebody, so I changed it to bleach.
Yeah. So it's actually a better option.
That's a good touch. So you got the bleach in there. Now, when he recommended the gasoline, why even the gasoline?
I don't know.
Dramatics.
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know Jussie personally. Yeah, but he doesn't sound like the brightest, maybe the brightest of stars, so to speak, because I don't know why would you wait. And by the way, gasoline, kind of expensive,
Right.
Okay, so here's another question. Black people, obviously, just going into some Black science here, we don't particularly love the cold. So that was one of the first things that flagged me as weird. I said, listen, you can't tell me that Black people are out during a polar vortex. Was the polar vortex accidental? Did you pick that night accidentally?
It was very accidental. So Jussie wanted it to be done. My brother could go more into it. He wanted it to be done before we left for Nigeria. So we already had a trip going to Nigeria that we booked 3 months prior. So he reached out to us, and he knew we were going to Nigeria. So he asked, hey, when are you guys going to Nigeria? Oh, tomorrow? Well, I need it done today, and that's how it went down. And then we were only going to be in Nigeria for 2 weeks, and he said, no, he can't wait for 2 weeks. And we have an idea why that might have happened.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because his flight, he was coming back from New York that day, and his flight kept getting delayed. It got delayed like twice, where we had to change the original time of 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. And he still wanted to go on with the plan. He said, no, we're still doing it. So that's what happened. He wanted us to do it before we left to Nigeria.
So you guys are communicating and he's like, no, it's still on. Like, is this just on text? Okay, so all of this is being documented. And when you realized how many degrees it was not that night, did you, as Black men, have some second thoughts about whether you were going to embrace this polar vortex? Were there any second thoughts?
There was 4 thoughts. 4 thoughts. It was cold as hell. It was colder than penguin feet. I'm saying, there was times we were like, you know what? Let's just go back, bro. Let's just go back.
Yeah, actually, because he was late. He was not at the exact spot exactly at 2 a.m. So we gave him literally a couple minutes to show up because we weren't gonna wait out there. But Lord behold, he showed up at the last minute
Wow, unbelievable. And so when he gave you the script per se, because you went over the plan, the detailed plan, was This Is MAGA Country in it, or were you guys sort of ad-libbing?
MAGA country, I feel that we came up with that, but all the other stuff, like the real bad derogatory stuff, that was all Jussie.
Yeah, the red. Well, he wanted the red hats, and we just made it MAGA country. This is, so, yeah. So he wanted us to say the F word. He wanted us to say. He wanted us to say, "Aren't you that empire?" And then we was like, "This is MAGA country." Before beating them up, well, fake beating him up. Yeah. So that's
I think the greatest part is the line, "This is MAGA country." Like, if we're going for the awards here, whoever came up with that line is the creative genius of the two of you, because I just think it is hilarious. It's just objectively, this is MAGA country.
No, he wanted us to get like actual "Make America Great Again" hats, but we couldn't find them nowhere in Chicago.
In Chicago, the bluest city ever.
So we just got a regular red hat from the beauty supply.
And did he say to you, what did he say about your not white faces? Like, was it his suggestion that you had to cover them? What did he say?
Yeah, so since there were going to be cameras, he said, make sure you cover your face, wear masks and all that. So you couldn't see our face. It was to the point that, so my brother and I, we were playing, it was an acting gig for us. So we were playing white supremacists, white racists from the South. So we even came up with names. He was Bubba, but I didn't have no name. So, so it was so believable to the point that when we were in the Uber on our way there, the Uber driver told the police that they were white guys. So he thought we were white. And yeah, because we were talking in our Southern accent, our best Southern accents. So, yeah,
if you don't mind, just because we're here, could we hear Bubba's Southern MAGA country accent?
Yeah, so that night when we went and took care of Jussie,
that Jussie,
yeah,
come go get that boy over there.
that boy thought he could fight us back.
Yeah, all right.
We took care of that boy, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. This is MAGA country.
And you better know it. I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble
It's
for
terrible.
that.
Your accents are terrible.
I know.
You sound like two Nigerian men trying to sound like you're from Tennessee. They're terrible.
Hey, people from Chicago don't know. That's yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay, so when you got the noose, this is very important because that's all that happens down here. Just nooses everywhere. Did you ever expect that following the incident, Jussie would be so dumb as to leave the noose around his neck and still be holding the sandwich? Because this seems like this maybe went wrong in the improv skit. Because I do think that if I was getting jumped with gasoline and bleach and being called the N-word and the F-word, that I might drop the sandwich. Like, it's not that. Subway's not particularly the greatest thing I've ever eaten. And he didn't do that. So what happened there?
He might have been hungry,
Right?
especially after an ass whooping.
Yeah, that ass whooping was pretty hard on him.
Yeah.
But we think he left the noose for a reason. And so 2 months prior, I think in December, a bill was passed, or it passed the Senate floor or the House floor, and then it was going to the other side, and it was the anti-lynching bill. I don't know if it was called that at that time. And it was also coming up again February 14th. And that's the reason why we believe he wanted us to do it again right before we went to Nigeria, because we wouldn't have been back by February 14th. So we released a book that tells about the whole situation, about if you make a mistake, that's not the end all be all. You can move forward and past that. And our book explains who we think might have brought this
Yeah, we don't think
Lots-
Jesse's the actual mastermind behind this. We think somebody put him up to this.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Our
Let me
book-
tell you, no one's ever accused Jussie Smollett of being a mastermind. I will tell you that. So, what is the title of your book, and where can people go to find it?
So the title of the book is Bigger Than Jussie. The disturbing need for modern day lynching. And it is found on Amazon or anywhere you buy your books, Barnes and Noble, anywhere.
Okay, so you guys, you're hearing that, my listeners. If you want to hear more about this story, which is truly, it's now a part of American history. It's positively hilarious. Just a couple of things, obviously, for you guys listening. If a Black person ever tells you that they went out in a polar vortex, it's funny business. Okay, it's just not what we do genetically. We cannot do certain things, and that's one of them. That's why we don't ski, ice hockey, none of those things. And so that's why I knew the story never made sense. But go out and buy their book. They are positively hilarious, and they were completely honest from the beginning with the police. They came forward and told the truth, because for them, they were just trying to play a part. They were just trying to be Bubba. You know, they didn't know that they were getting involved with some crazy politics in trying to get an anti-lynching bill passed. You guys, I am so glad that you joined me today. I can't tell you, I've watched your interviews, and you guys are hilarious. So I wish you all the success in the world. And the next time I get in touch, please do know that it will be to stage my own hate crime. And I'm going to have some really good lines for you.
Okay, we ready.
Get your money up.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll put a link up to your book.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Well, I'm disgusted at the live chat right now. A lot of laughing emojis. They shared a story that has given Jussie Smollett great pain. Plausibly the worst accent I've ever heard in my entire life. I knew that would brighten your day, because it brightened my day when we recorded it yesterday. Very, very funny. All right, guys, we could almost get into all of your comments and questions during this article to some of these questions. Oh my gosh, the Officer Tatum is here. He says, Candace is the GOAT. That is my brother. I absolutely love, obviously, Brennan Tatum. I love Corinne Tatum. So thank you guys so much for donating just now to the show. You could have just gotten a whole year subscription to CandaceOwens.com. Beans writes, Candace spilling the tea all over the place. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the show. Kim T writes, I love your straightforward, telling it how it is commentary. You're the best. I get a good laugh listening to you. Thank you. I genuinely am just so happy. Like, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be independent. And I'm just happy that more people are getting to hear me and not believe all of the horrible things I feel like the media said about me for years. It feels like we've now gotten to a place where people know that it's not true. Alex Needham asks, I didn't know I needed this interview, but I did need it. See, I knew you guys needed it. We needed the Nigerian brothers. They are just gems. I love them. And by the way, they never lied to the police. For them, it really was an acting gig. They got cast as two white racist men in the middle of a Chicago vortex. That was real. They were happy about being cast for $3,500. And they said, Jussie wrote them a check. And when we were offline, they said they don't accept checks anymore. So if I do book them, I'm going to have to pay them cash, I assume. They're done with the business of putting things in writing. So when I execute my hate crime against myself, I'll keep you guys posted. Mud writes, Blake and Ryan are visible farts. Okay, Mud, thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. Erie says, Candace always pulls up with the smoke and receipts. Yes, like I said, my investment in this, to me, it's not a Hollywood story. It is a Me Too story. It is a political movement that got hijacked by women that understood they could easily take down men who would not be able to defend themselves against toxic femininity. And I have 3 sons. And so I am going to see this through until the very end. Like I said, me and Savannah will be at the courthouse. We will be dressed, ready to go, sunglasses at the courthouse. I deserve a seat in there, and I hope that you guys will encourage them to give me a seat in there, Justin Baldoni's legal team. Because I'm sure they're watching this too. They don't even know any of this. They're watching this, finding stuff out. Justin Baldoni's team is like, what? This is crazy. We got to subpoena Taylor Swift. Yeah, you do. You have to subpoena her. Belle Eve writes, T Swift Easter eggs are strategically planned for months and years. Nothing seems out of her control for a beneficial narrative or profit. Either there's more to the plan or this is the implosion of it. Yeah, I just have a lot of questions. She just was hanging out with them a lot during that time and involved in the movies and I just know how friends are when girls chat. I don't think she just walked in there and said, hey, I love her script changes. That doesn't sound right to me. So backing away from it now feels a little shady. I'm not saying I'm blaming Taylor Swift for everything. I'm just saying that I don't buy that she didn't know he was going to be there. You either read the script or you didn't. But I do probably buy that she was a little embarrassed about that text message referring to her as a dragon, because it is bullying. And she has very carefully crafted her brand and making people believe that she doesn't engage in that. But I actually think she does, a lot. And people can't defend themselves against whatever narrative she puts out with her Easter eggs. I think men are scared to stand up and say that actually didn't happen. Fadi Shraki writes, Candace, big virtual hug from your #1 Syrian Arab Muslim fan who happens to be a homo but not fake or gay. I'm glad that you're not fake or gay. That's amazing. We pray for you and your family's safety and prosperity. Keep doing God's work. Waking up every day at 1 a.m. to watch your show from Dubai. God bless. And yes, even as a Muslim, Jesus is king. I love that. I really want to go see Dubai. And that's like on me and my husband's list, but I can't stop being pregnant. I don't know. It's like a disorder or something. I really gotta talk to a doctor, see a doctor about this. South Pole writes, this is a 2-part comment, a super chat. Candace, maybe this is a little crazy to ask, but we have a red pill friend and content creator named Adam Francisco. He does not have a large following on YouTube, but he has been a staunch supporter of Trump and the conservative movement. He has been in need of a kidney donor for a while and has been posting the last couple of weeks that he is in dire need of a transplant and is asking his limited supporters if they can or if they know anyone who can help. Well, we have just now broadcast that to at least 1 million people who will see it. So Adam Francisco is his name. He did not include his handle here, content creator. You never know. Sometimes somebody sees something and the next thing you know, he gets a new transplant. At the very least, people can keep Adam Francisco in his prayers.